Hello, thanks for joining. My name is Sophie and I'm one of the group practice nurses here at the Pet Vet and the Vet. Unfortunately, the topic that everyone's talking about at the moment is the XL bully ban. Understandably, we have had many queries coming through regarding the new legislation. As a company, we thought it would be helpful to create a webinar to hopefully answer everyone's questions and to support our customers with the process. I will be taking questions at the end if you've got anything you'd like to ask. So, on the 31st of October, the government made the announcement that the XL bully breed would be added to the Dangerous Dogs Act. This decision has been made due to the rise in attacks involving this breed. Of course, this has upset a lot of people, including the veterinary industry. However, the ban is being implemented within the UK and Wales, so we want to support our customers as best as we can. The ban is being implemented across 2 phases to give owners time to comply with the new legislation. Phase 1. This will be implemented by the 31st of December. From this date, it will be against the law to sell, abandon, give away, and breed from an XL bully. It will also be the law to ensure that the breed has a muzzle and lead on at all times when in a public area. Phase 2 will then come into effect by the 1st of February next year. It will then become a criminal offence to own an XL bully without a certificate of exemption. Now, before going into the legal aspects of things, let's just discuss what an XL bully actually is. So originally, the breed has come from the crossing of other bull breeds, particularly the pit bull. There are many different types of bully breeds, such as the micro, pocket, standard, and the classic, but these are not within the ban criteria. To try and help owners identify the breed, an official definition of an XL bully dog document has been produced. The main characteristic of the XL bully is that it is a larger and heavier breed than the other bullies. However, there are many more characteristics to consider. This documentation on screen can be found on gov.uk. Here are the photos that are included in the government's documents. Here at the Pet Vet and the Vet, we can help customers read through this documentation, but ultimately it is up to the owner to self-identify whether their dog may be an XL bully. If the owner is still unsure after reading through the documentation, it is advised that they follow the new legislation regardless. So, moving on to what to do if you have an XL bully. In order to keep this breed, the owner must be over the age of 16. The dog must be kept on a lead and wearing a muzzle at all times when in a public area. The other important factor is to ensure that they are kept in a secure place where they can't escape into a public area. The essential part of owning an XL bully is going to be the certificate of exemption, and understandably we are getting lots of questions about this. The application process is now live and it has a deadline of the 31st of January. From this date, a police officer or a dog warden has the authority to ask for proof of this certificate. To comply with the law, it must be shown to them within 5 days. In order to apply for the certificate, other principles must be put in place first. The first thing is insurance, and it needs to be a third-party public liability insurance. It must be in place by the 1st of February next year, and it has to be renewed every single year for the rest of the dog's life. Now, with the XL bully being announced as a dangerous dog, most insurance providers unfortunately won't cover them anymore. The insurance provider that has been recommended by the government is the Dogs Trust membership. You can, of course, search for an alternative insurer as long as you are confident that it covers what is required. The next step is neutering. There is a bit of leeway with this regarding dates, so please don't panic. If your XL bully is under a year old at the 31st of January, you have up until the 31st of December next year to get them neutered. If the dog is over a year by the 31st of January, you have up until the 30th of June. Please be reassured that our surgeries will get our customers booked in as soon as possible to aid this process. Once the dog has been neutered, documentation needs completing by the owner and the veterinary surgeon's confirmation. This will then get sent off to DEFRA by the veterinary practice. If the dog has already been neutered with us in the past, then the owner just needs to print the form out, complete their section, and hand it in to us for a veterinary surgeon to complete and send off when time allows. Microchipping. The microchip number will be required in order to apply for the certificate. By law already, all dogs must have a microchip implanted by the age of 8 weeks old. However, if this hasn't already been done, please give us a call to book in with one of our veterinary nurses to do. If your dog is already microchipped, but you have misplaced the ID number, again, give us a call and we'll be able to get you in to scan and retrieve the number. Please ensure all contact details are up to date on the microchip databases at all times. Once the insurance, neutering and microchipping is in place, the application process can begin. Owners can complete the application online on gov.uk, or they can print the documents off, complete and return by either post or email. Please note there is a £92.40 fee per dog for the administration process. And please remember the deadline is the 31st of January. Muzzles. Now, some people may think that muzzling a dog is fairly easy. However, a muzzle can be very daunting for a dog if they have never seen or worn one before, which means the process can take some time to implement. This is why it is recommended to start muzzle training now. If you are unsure on how to start muzzle training, there are a variety of resources shared by the government online, including videos. We are also here to help and support, so if you would like to discuss muzzles, please give one of our surgeries a call to book in for a nurse consultation, or we do have a muzzle training video on YouTube. It is important to understand that muzzle training will take time, so please don't expect everything to be achieved in one session. Now, sadly, not every owner will be in a position to keep their XL bully due to one reason or another. The government, therefore, are offering a £200 compensation to go towards the cost of euthanasia. Euthanasia is never a nice topic, and due to an increase in these appointments potentially being made, this is going to have a negative impact on our veterinary staff. As a company, mental wellbeing is very important, so we will be ensuring we are supporting both customers and colleagues throughout this tough time. If euthanasia is chosen, a compensation form will need to be brought in for a veterinary surgeon to sign. Please bear in mind that all costs will need to be paid up front and the completed documentation sent to DEFRA no later than the 15th of March. I hope I've answered the majority of your questions. Has anybody got any other questions they'd like to ask me before we finish?
Hi Sophie, that was really helpful. So yeah, thanks for going through all that. I've got a couple of questions if that's okay.
Yes, of course.
So basically my dog is an XL Bully cross. I've never had it sort of confirmed what he was crossed with, but I'm guessing it's quite a big breed because he's quite a big boy.
Okay.
But how should I sort of handle this?
Okay, so crosses are not included in the ban. However, depending on what it's been crossed with, the dog warden and police are going to look at the characteristics. So if it is a majority of an XL bully, I would stick to the legislation and follow the law. To make an informed decision, if you just have a look at the documents on gov.uk, and if you do think that it does stick within that boundary, then I would go ahead with the certificate.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I've just got one other question as well, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So I moved house a couple of years ago, and at the time that I got my dog neutered, he was actually registered at a different veterinary practice. So is there anything I need to do there?
Okay, so it's absolutely fine. In order for us to sign the documents, we just need to ensure that we've got the clinical history for your dog. If we've got this, a vet will be able to have a read, confirm, and sign the forms for you to send off. If we've not got the history though, we'll have to either request it, or it might be easier for yourself just to give them a call and see if they'll fill out the paperwork for you. Okay.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
No worries. Thank you, Lizzie. Anybody else?
Hi, I've got a question if possible, please.
Yeah.
What do I do if my XL bully is actually pregnant by the time that the law comes into play?
Oh, okay. So if the XL bully is already pregnant and the litter is due to be born after the 31st of December, this isn't an offence. However, it is an offence to then sell and rehome the puppies in the litter. so it is a tricky one. If the litter's born before the 31st of December, but they don't turn 8 weeks until after this date, then you can sell the puppies, providing it is before the 31st of December. So as long as the financial transaction is taking place before this date, people can buy the puppy and can collect it afterwards. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
No worries, thank you. Any other questions?
Hi Sophie, I just wondered what would happen if I didn't follow the regulations?
Okay, good question. So ultimately, it is down to yourself. Okay, the veterinary industry are not taking part in policing the legislation. So if any XL bullies are coming through and people are not complying with the law, then we're not entitled to report them. Okay, we are here to help support the process though. So if there is anything that owners need from us, then please just let us know. Okay.
Brilliant, thank you. So can I ask one more question if that's okay?
Yeah, of course.
What should I do if I find a stray XL bully?
Okay, so again, after the 31st of December, it will be illegal to abandon these breeds. However, it's not going to stop people from doing it. So we might see an increased number of stray XL bullies. So the main thing is to call the dog warden from the council. They'll come and collect the dog, okay? So don't take it in yourself or anything like that, especially if you're not sure how the temperament is, but just give the council a call and the dog warden will be able to come and pick them up. Okay.
Brilliant, thank you.
No worries. Any other questions? No? Okay. So I hope I've managed to explain the legislation and the process quite well and answered any questions. If you do have any further questions or wish to discuss any of the topics in the presentation, please just get in touch with your local surgery and our colleagues will assist you as best as they can. We will provide all the links that have been discussed throughout the presentation below the video. Thank you for joining.